Mr. Martin.
Mr. Hazelwood.
Leroy, how are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Hopefully we're 1 minute late, but hopefully we've got some comments coming in, I think, on the side already. So that's good news.
That is good news. I'm just getting on there myself.
First things first. Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice glass of water.
Yeah. What are you on, a tea or a Coke?
I'm on a Desperado that's in a mug. In disguise. Whilst I don't mind sipping some wine on air, I thought swigging out of the world's largest Desperado bottle probably looks a little bit like it needs a brown bag around it. So
yeah, we can get you one of them cooler things.
Do you know what? I picked some of them up in the States at the Raw Nationals. They were handing them out, Thornhill. They're quite cool.
Yeah, because they have to conceal their alcohol, don't they?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I just thought it made it so you could hold a nice cold Coca-Cola without getting your hand cold.
I mean, that is an added benefit, but also they can conceal it and then drink at the track, supposedly.
Wow. Let's move to America. So how are we doing anyway? How's your week been? I haven't seen you for a week.
I know. It's been good. Been to, done a bit of testing where I could. Not a bad week. Weekend was, felt like I needed to do something. It's amazing just a couple of weeks in how much you miss the Sundays and racing and stuff and seeing people, and felt a bit like a lost puppy. But yeah. How about yourself?
You could have cruised around the garden, got some micros out or something.
Well, you say that. I have actually got a truck ready for the skate park.
See, I knew there'd be something. Are you going to be filming that so we can see it?
Exactly. I'm going to do some mad videos for our YouTube channel of big jumps and crazy crossovers and stuff, because our skate park's actually got quite a lot of big jumps in it. I went today to try and do some, but there was a bit too many kids there. I could have killed some of them, but
well, we'd been in the news for one reason or another, I guess.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad publicity, right?
So no, exactly. So weekend was getting ready for doing some skate park RC. I like it.
Yes, and of course last week we did the cars that rocked on Monday, so we already spoke about that one. But yeah, so there'll be another one of them coming very soon as well. And I
did watch your the green screen stuff. Very good effort, that mate. I was very impressed. Showing some skills.
I thought it was a bit of fun. I need to up my audio game. Apparently, someone put a comment on about the audio, which is fair enough because I didn't really think about the audio. So yeah, the next one will be even better.
Awesome. I will look forward to that. We're going to get one of those this week. You think?
Yes. This week,
any little insights as to what it's going to be?
It'll be later in the week, and it's going to be very, very special.
Oof.
I'm going to have a special guest, and it's someone who is far, far more intelligent than I am.
Blimey.
And
who could possibly that be?
I know, who's done a lot more in the RC game than I have as well.
Blimey. Wow. I look forward to that one.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
There you go.
Shall we do some Leroy shout-outs down the side?
We'll do some shout-outs. So Jan was the first one on. He said, evening. Let me put my laptop a bit more close here so it doesn't look like I'm just looking away. So evening, Jan. Evening, Nobby. Jan got his gamma in the week. His first step into 8 scale.
Yeah, exciting that. He's a good kid. I think he could do very well with 8 scale. So it's another good convert over, I think. Or not over, but coming to join some 8 stuff as well. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Ivan Bingham says, hi, boys. Sarah Campbell says, evening, guys, from Sarah and Craig. Evening. Paul Williams says, evening. Hope everyone is well. Hi, Paul. Simon Lee, Slow Boy Racing RC, says, evening, chaps. Evening. Kev Brunston. Good old Kev says, good evening. Who's this Mark Jones?
I don't know. We've had a username change.
What the hell's that about? I only know Jonesy Cram. I don't know Mark Jones.
That's that gag. So, we're running out of content and gags. It's not good, is it?
Cheers, Mark. David Rolls says, evening, guys. Hope we're both well. Evening, Davey. Marcus Butler says, good evening from Virginia.
Oh.
Isn't that a song?
I think.
Might be a song. Quake says, evening, gents. Tony McGibbon says, evening, lads. Arvinda says, evening, guys. I think John's froze. He might be back. Cakes by Claire says, evening, boys. Johnny Roberts, good evening. Craig Homer, evening. Ads RC Racing, evening. RC Racing 88, evening. Ben Kennett, my mate Ben. And Ben has delved the other way. He's just got a temp scale car.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's dirty.
I know he wants to do some winter racing, I guess, if we ever get to do any. Craig Homer says, if this is as funny as last week, it should be good. Well, we'll try and make it as amusing as we can.
We probably need to get Leroy off water, I think, before we get into more suck-off comments.
Yes. Yeah, the water, I think you never know. Water could be the key.
Exactly.
It's moist.
Good Lord.
So, Martin Hart said, evening, chaps. That guy's name we couldn't say.
Good evening.
You said it better than me, I think. Can you say his name?
Good evening.
Hi from Norway. Kai Till, I guess, something like that. Ice Wallows Come. Nice name.
What?
I bet he's popular.
Whoops, sorry.
Ice Swallow Come.
Wow. Is this? Do you think this is the guy that keeps leaving like random comments about how nice you are on the YouTube videos? Have you seen that? I know the bear guy.
Yeah, it must be.
I reckon he might have had a username upgrade.
Yeah. Ian says he's getting ready to break some wing mounts, which is always good. Matthew Stenhouse, Caden said, evening, guys. Lyndon Hammer, Don James says, evening, hope all is well. They didn't tell us they're from Plymouth this week, though.
No. That's disappointing.
All is well, though. Thank you very much. Hope you guys are good, too. Alan Bridgman Digger says, evening, all. And Quake says, glad I could finally catch a stream. Working late, so it's going to be fun. Put up a second monitor.
Welcome. Glad to see somebody new watching. Sadly, there's not masses of content this week with week 2 of lockdown. We've got a bit of stuff going on in the States, which we can talk about. Another fantastic weekend over there, which was really good to see. But before we get into all of that, because I like hearing your voice and it makes my my work easier, what have we got in the closet? What's the closet feature?
So we've got a closet feature. It's next to me. I was wondering what to put on this evening. Obviously, we had a chat about it earlier, and I couldn't think of anything decent. So what I have is something semi-relevant, considering we just had our four-wheel drives, and a lot of people have got them now.
Yep.
I thought I would look at one of my old four-wheel drives. Again, seems to be a theme. But this is a Yokomo car, and this is a car that I basically made. Which way am I going here? It's like, because it's not used the app this week, it's like in reverse, and I'm having to.
Yeah, it's weird why it's not done that. Very odd.
Yeah. So yeah, this is actually a BMAX 4, which was Yokomo's car 2 generations ago, and they tasked me with the job of making, well, basically developing a new one.
Right.
And I thought, yeah, cracked on with it, made lots of bits for myself, and it basically is what the new one is now.
Right.
They just never made it in the end. They went away from shaft and decided to do this belt thing, which never really took off.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the one that I made. It come from me. It went to Japan and got tested there, and then it got sent to Mayfield, and he tested it. And it's come back with me. When I was at Mayfield's house a few years ago for Christmas,
yeah,
I saw it on the shelf and stole it back.
Nice, very good.
So as you can see with this one, it's the shock towers, basically like we have now. There's no camber link externally; they're all built into the towers.
Yeah.
The steering is stolen from another car, but it's basically the same as what we have now. But it's got an angle on it, which we don't have, which I still think would be a great thing to add, is having the same angle as a chassis kick up in the steering. I think you get a much nicer steering curve with it, my opinion. Drilled the chassis to bits and moved the motor around, and now it's basically in the same place that you can have it on the new car. and then made all my own rear blocks and lots of different things. But yeah, I thought I'd
cool.
show you that.
That's cool. I haven't seen that before. Did that get raced at all, buddy? Did you do anything with it, or
never got raced? It got tested quite a lot, and then they went a different direction, which, yeah, I mean, it was a good direction to go at the time. It was something different, but ultimately we've kind of come back to what this car is. So we could have had this like.
That's the beauty of RC, though, isn't it? I think if you hang around this long enough, you see, everything come around in big circles, and I find it quite intriguing because you see a manufacturer announce something as new system. Could it be pivot ball or anything it might be? And think, yeah, that was seen in 1984 or 85 or 86. But it's not. It's nice, I guess. It's nice, and having different things sells things, I guess. So you have to keep the circle going.
Yeah, exactly. The circle of RC life.
It's not often that you see something that's genuinely new. I don't think anymore.
No.
To see some new stuff. That's a cool closet feature, that, mate. You definitely. I don't think we'd find anyone that's got a more diverse closet than Mr. Martin.
I've still got quite a lot of cars to go through as well, so we could be here a while.
You must have an understanding wife, because that's you've got a collection, and much more than I saw when I've been to your house a few times. I've not seen such a big collection of cars.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen half
nothing
of what's there. You've seen nothing yet, mate. Have
we peaked? Have we seen your favourite already?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe, because the Pred's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my favourite.
In terms of cars that have won stuff for me, no, you probably haven't. Although, the Pred is up there with one of my favourites. But it's there's definitely a few cool cars to come, which I haven't shown you yet.
Yeah, we're going to look forward to that. So let's move it on then to the only racing that I know of that's been going on, which is, again, in the States. Billy's been having some fun. Back at Thornhill this weekend, they had their RC Pro Series final, I believe is what the series was called. And he was in attendance with the big trailer and all the normal gubbins and stuff. It was another good turnout entry. I think they've got like 35 finals or something crazy like that. And once again, our man Brandon Rose, he TQ'd firstly, which was fantastic, and then he managed to convert that into a very convincing win. So a massive well done again. I was talking to Billy about it earlier on today, and he just said the kid's just gone like next level. And we see that, don't we? The juniors, they kind of plateau for a while, and then suddenly there's a couple of good results, and they springboard into a new dimension. And Brandon seems to have done that. He's running with America's best, really. This weekend he came out with a TQ and a win. So fantastically happy with that one. Billy backed him up this time. Our man Flynn over there, over 40s, he TQ'd and won that class. He was telling me that he won it by 0.6 of a second, and the whole final was like that the whole way through. So, as you can imagine, with our American brother, he was pretty pumped with that. They had a really good weekend, which rubs the salt in the wound even more that we're not racing and they're having these events going on. I got Billy to send me a couple of pictures, which was. They were fairly average pictures, to be fair, Billy. We need to work on your, as you're a photographer, so I'm not quite sure what's going on, but the two that I've got is a very nice picture of Billy's car looking lonely, waiting to go out. I think he's probably going to have to wait a few seconds for it to on your feed. Is that up there yet or not?
No. I was just looking on their Facebook to look for a picture, but it's not up yet. Obviously, they're just kind of waking up and getting into the Monday there, so
yeah, exactly. Sometimes I forget that at 12 o'clock when I'm texting him. Poor
yeah, it's only like.
Billy's been going really well recently. Actually, to be fair, we've got we definitely need an over 40s worlds, because I think that would be quite good for Team Nemo as a holistic thing around the world. We've got a few oldies that are quite fast, and I've heard it's been talked about as well. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it needs to be done. I mean, is Drake over 40? He must be, right?
I think he must be, yeah. I mean, it would be very, very difficult to have a good result. But in numbers of good 40s, I think we've got quite a few in our team, for whatever reason.
That's right. We're batting for the old guys here. Oh, I've seen the pictures up there now, yeah. That looks good. Billy's
There was a very nice panoramic. I don't know how I can. Maybe let me try and hide. If I hide me, you might have to talk for a second, but it will make the.
He's gone. And to answer your question, CJ, that's my dog snoring, as ever. Or, as always, the Thornhill track. I really need to go there. It's on my bucket list. Oh, you're back.
Let me hide that back as I lost my audio to you. And we flipped sides. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
But I can't hear you. So 1 second while I do a refresh, then I'll be back. 1 sec. Hello. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
One second. Right, let's try that one. We flip sides again.
Oh, am I back in the room?
You sound like an extra off Doctor Who, my end. So I might have to do some lip reading. So you're going to have to be very good with your mouth movements.
Oh, that's what she said.
That is what she said. Spoken like a Dalek, which was fantastic, actually. Comedy Genius says, well, shame I can't pipe that in for everybody to hear because that was quite amusing. Yeah, so obviously I was trying to show you guys the track the guys were at the weekend.
It did
awesome
pop up.
Thornhill. Absolutely awesome. I'm going to try one last refresh, so I'm going to disappear for a moment just to see if I can bring Mr. Martin in so I can actually hear him. 1 sec.
I'll just keep talking because I think mine's generally working. And it's John's that's always kind of terrible. Maybe because he's the host.
It should forever be a Dalek, my end. But it'll be okay. We'll make it work.
Somehow. Are we good? I've got to get the dog out because everyone keeps thinking that it's a weird noise. And he's just snoring.
He looks like he's trying to hypnotize me.
What is it, Rocket? Oh, wait. No.
I'm trying some things. I'm trying some things in the background. If it looks like I'm not massively paying attention at any point, it's because I'm just trying a couple of things to make it so I can hear you.
That's absolutely fine.
Well, he's back.
No, good. Everyone said your sound quality is bad, but I think it might be when it's not Dalek-y for me. Probably yours sorts itself out.
Yes. Hopefully we're in unison now when we're singing from the same hymn book, as my dear mother would say.
That's it. So just while people are probably not really listening, if everyone could do a thumbs up, a little like on our video, that would be amazing. We like a thumb up anything, don't we, John?
We like a thumb up anything. I think we should catch up on some comments because there must be some have come in now.
Yeah. I mean, most people just asking what the noise is, which was a dog. We sorted that problem. Clancy's come online. He says,
me farting.
It could be. You're very rhythmic with it. It's a good constant.
I've been working on it like Le Petamine from the 19 whatever it was hundreds that could fart on command. Anyway.
So Clancy come online. He says, "What's up, ballers? What's up, bro?"
Awesome.
Yeah. Just looking down. RC Racing 88. Any sign of Nemo opening it up again for practice? I mean, yeah, we'll open up as soon as lockdown ends.
Yep.
First day we're allowed. We will be open. Don't you worry.
We'll be going. I see there's one. I can see on my side, John Glasbrick. Johnny's got his chest wig on tonight.
His what?
Chest wig.
All right. Why can't I see that comment? Why
can't I have that on my head?
Gotcha. It's up there. So Quake says, man, he wishes he had dirt tracks in the Netherlands. Such a shame there is none. I'll have to make my way over the channel someday once stuff is back to normal, and we will welcome you with open arms. Is mine working? Because I'm froze by the looks of it.
You are froze on mine as well, doing some very interesting hand motion, but the audio was good, so I was just presuming it was only me that you were frozen for.
That's fine. It's as long as the audio works. I mean, no one's looking at our face, are they? So.
No, exactly. They tuned out a long time ago. Just talking about hair and why it's not on my head, I actually think that Desperado has got something to do with it, and potentially we should look at doing a class lawsuit, long-term side effects. Desperado. Anyway,
I'm sure there's quite a few long-term side effects of Desperado.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure my hair loss is not the only one that's coming just around the corner.
No. Yeah. So yeah, that's I've caught up with the comments. That was pretty quick. A lot of people have given us a thumbs up, which is always nice. Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, it's been a quiet week, really.
Yes, it has been a quiet week. Lots going on in other ways, but certainly on the racing side, it's been a little bit quiet. Obviously, like we've said, only really America that out there doing anything right now.
Yes,
but we're 2 weeks in, so that means we're 2 weeks closer. It's going to be exciting to get back out there again. We were doing some R&D stuff as well at Nemo last week, which we put a little cheeky picture up as our stream. Our live stream scheduled holder as well, which was fun. It was nice to be actually getting out there and trying to progress everything forward and stuff. So yeah, we'll keep doing that.
How did that go without going too far into it?
Very well. Yes, it went well for 11 minutes and 35 seconds.
Oh, that's a good amount of running time.
It's good. It's a good amount of something. Definitely a good amount of something.
And how was the feeling?
The feeling was always good. It's been a long time since I've managed to last 11 minutes 35 seconds. So yeah, I was happy with that feeling.
Did you put any like blue pills in the tank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Many, which did mean it was quite an expensive tank of fuel.
Yeah.
So we've got to work on that. But that aside, there's potential there.
I can see.
That's actually really good to get back out and doing some of that sort of stuff. It's been a while, believe it or not. It's been a while doing that stuff. So yeah, it was good.
That's cool. The track still looks like it's got a couple of puddles in the picture. I'm just looking at it.
I assured Phil, obviously Phil working with us, that I wouldn't go in those puddles, and unfortunately, I can't sit here and say that was what happened.
So you hit a puddle.
Yeah, there was a little bit of waterproof testing going on.
Well, luckily our radio tray is very good in wet conditions.
Very, very good. Yeah, a couple of times I thought, well, that's going to be a runaway, and it wasn't. So it was good. And by the time we were getting towards the end of it, actually, it got really good traction. The track, it dried so quickly, just having a car moving a bit of it around. It was really good. Obviously, subsequently, it's absolutely poured down again. So it curtailed what we were up to. So we have to wait a minute or three and then get up to it again.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to try refreshing you.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Is there anything going to go wrong?
If it... Have confidence in refresh. So, Mr. Martin, are you there? Is anybody there? Am I there? Can anybody see me? I can't see Liam.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can anybody see me? Somebody give us a thumbs up on the side if you can see my mug. While we try and bring Mr. Martin back into the stream. This feels like week number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on this. We've got a bit better recently, but somehow it seems to have wobbled off. Leroy, try coming out of the app and coming back in again, if you can hear me. I think he can hear me because he's disappeared. So keep those questions coming in while we're trying to get Leroy back in so we can look at his beautiful face. He's busy trying to do that in the background. I'm getting some thumbs up. Johnny Roberts, how are we, my man? Johnny, another person that has got a 319 in recent times. Johnny, how was your build? Did you enjoy it? Got John, got you loud and clear. Good. Did you enjoy your build, Johnny? We should get you on actually one time. That would be fantastic. A fellow ice thrower back in the day on the dance floors. We need to get some moves going on. Johnny, we're going to get you an app sorted out, get you online. You can tell us about your build and what you've seen, whether it was good, whether it's bad. I'm getting a Leroy is ready to join the cast. So let's see if that's going to work. Mr. Wright, see Mr. Wright's just come online. Let's see. We're counting them down. 1, 2, 3. Leroy should be in the room.
Am I in the room?
You are in the room, and I can hear you.
Wow, this is doing well.
The only thing you missed, which was very important, was Johnny Roberts joining on. And Johnny's another fellow 319 convert in recent times. He's just done a build-up of the car. So he's going to be back racing some 8 scale, which I think is very exciting. We love Johnny.
Yeah, he has. He's been messaging me a few times asking about brake balls and stuff like that.
Marvelous.
So Tony Truman's is that cleared up now, Tony? Because I agree. Like when you were talking earlier, it sounded like someone was just tapping keys, but it was very weird. But it seems to have all gone on this refresh. So
it was my controller in the background making my voice box work.
Oh, well, is that what it was?
Yeah, the behind the curtain. It's a bit like Wizard of Oz. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to know where the port goes in to make it work.
And Johnny says my connection's swear word. But I don't know. I think it's just this. I don't think it's the connection. I think it's just the system sometimes has funny wobblies, and then you redo it, and it's okay. Yeah. Yep. Tech. Who would have thought it was this difficult?
Exactly.
What's the average time for a 224 on a tank?
That's from Mr. Rules. It depends on several factors. Who's driving it is the biggest one. Whether you're a lunatic like me or someone that's very smooth like Lee. Also depends on the car as well, how efficient the car is. That can make quite a big difference. I was talking with our colleagues once upon a time at LRP that also use OS as their base of their engine. And they'd gone and done some testing with different cars, same driver, same day, same engine, just moving it in and out of cars. And they'd seen a 1.5 minute spread on runtime between whichever car it was in, which was quite interesting to see. On that particular day, one of the least efficient was actually the Kyosho, and I think it's because the car is very good. So you're always in the gas, always trying to get that, wring its neck to get the lap time out of it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
The Lossy was always very good for runtime, and that's because, in my opinion, it had no traction, so you couldn't actually drive it like you stole it. You had to be like you actually owned it, and subsequently got good lap time out of it. So, long answer to your question, I would say anywhere between 8 minutes to 10 minutes, depending on those factors and how old it is and how brave you want to be with the tune, and whether you're doing funky things like limiting EPA and other bits and pieces that you can do to get longer runtime. I think for me, that's a quick win to get some runtime, limiting the EPA on the OS engines. But I also think you quite quickly, unless you're very particularly with your tune, you lose the feel of the engine as well. So you end up with this wonderful runtime that actually you can't really do anything with it because it doesn't feel any good anymore. Then you start doing it so it feels absolutely perfect, and then do your stopwatch, see what that is, and go with that. That's what I do.
Yeah, perfect. With that Losi as well, there's a reason the Losi was really good was the drive shaft angles. Because it bound up the front one a lot, so you got a lot of rear drive, and that's where you don't waste power as such. Whereas the Kyosho had a very big center diff, if you remember, and it used to bleed all the power to the front.
Yeah,
that's when you have to feel like you got to wring its neck. I think
that's probably it. Yeah,
our car's luckily a fantastic mix of both.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. It does good, and we jumped forward on economy with our 319 platform. So
yes,
we did something.
Yeah, man. Wicked. Yes, Ryan says we need to get the rear hubs back in stock. I think they should have been finished like this week. They were coming back from anodizers, so I think they'll be pretty much ready now. I'll message him tomorrow morning and find out. But yeah, I think they're pretty much back, mate. So don't you worry. Hopefully by the end of the week we should have some stock online.
Yep, definitely. I've just seen one come through there from Ivan. Start making some A319 build up and good to go live. Some our brands do, which I think is to do a live build up of the 319. There was actually one Ivan done by Ryan. He did a live build, so I think some point this year that we could dig out. But yeah, really good suggestion, and we appreciate that. And definitely, it's something that we want to be moving forward with. As we move forward, and get some more videos up there for you guys on builds and setup tips and all that sort of stuff.
I think I should. I mean, I need a new car, so it'd be good to do a live build on that one.
Yeah, that would be good.
Be a long video, but you know, we can just sit there and occasionally.
Can we do like a Benny Hill one and have you on fast forward with the music in the background?
Well, we can. We can do the time lapse thing.
Exactly. I like it. I'm sold.
Yes. Yep, there we go. So we'll get that done for you, Ivan. No worries. At least it wasn't a truggy question.
No, that is true. Ivan is our truck specialist in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. So
we still need to go to Ireland and do the paddy piston.
Definitely. BA, if you're watching, make it happen.
You make it happen. Chris James says, what do you think is the single biggest development in RC in the last 3 years? Doesn't necessarily have to be a car.
Oh, blimey, that's a very good question.
Last 3 years as well, so it's relatively recent.
What do you think? The single biggest development in RC in the last 3 years? I'm going to say for me, I'll go first on this one. I'm going to say for me, the general overall professionalism of like all of the brands and teams. I think in the last 3 years, and I'm talking maybe more on the 8th scale side. Perhaps it's been different in 10th scale. I don't think so, but perhaps. I think there's been a concerted effort by more people to do a better job with their products, trackside, and all of that sort of stuff. That's the biggest thing that I've seen. I think in 8th scale with Nemo, when we started, we were probably one of the first to really push quite hard with that whole customer experience and get everybody together and get them under the tents. And then we tried to move it forward with making sure we had really good supply trackside and all that sort of stuff. And I think, as I say, the last 3 years, I think I've seen other people come and have a go at doing that, which has been good, because I think it makes it better for all customers, whatever they're driving. So that's my biggest advance in the last 3 years.
Yeah, I'm still thinking on mine. I'm not sure. I'm gonna
come back to it.
Yeah, I would almost say like the tire game's gone a bit crazy in the last 3 years, but that's not massively a development thing. It kind of is, but
no, developed in the wrong way.
It's definitely a confusing element to it. I think that's really changed over the last 3 years.
Yeah, even the last year or 6 months, Leroy, I think it's gone into another level altogether.
It's just got, and I think as the tracks become more preened and more perfect, the tire becomes far more crucial.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Back in the day when you had like dusty or bumpy tracks and stuff, I don't think it was massively tire crucial.
Well, we all had crime fighters to put on anyway, so it was almost like a controlled tire. And before that, we all had turbo rats to put on, so it was almost like a controlled tire. It's a completely different time. You are right, that has changed wild. I mean, even for us as a manufacturer with Beta, which we've been really successful with, and in the early years of that, we certainly won a lot of races and international stuff as well. And the last 2 years, you need a compound for every scenario. You need a pattern for every scenario. If you want to have that right tire at every event in any condition, which is why
right.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why brands like Proline have got 10, 15, 20 patterns, and they've got the M compounds, the X compound. I don't even know. I've stopped keeping up because it's not what we do. We've gone the other way with our Beta range. We've tried to condense it and make it easy for the customer to just understand these are the options you have in these different conditions and stuff. But yeah, it's wild. I'm not picking on Proline. There's almost feels like there's hundreds of options that you could actually choose from if you were looking at, like Johnny, like the Skidmores, for example. I think they're nearly open on tires now, and you think that's awesome in some ways. Like Ronifolk as well, you can choose, you can find that right tire for every track, for every condition. But then you think of the mind-blowing expense that goes with putting yourself in that position to be able to do that, and you wonder whether it's really all worth it. I'd have thought it's a difficult thing, the tire thing. It's hard to, we've all lost our shirt a little bit on tires at different times. And if you've not got the right tire, it doesn't matter how good your car is, it doesn't matter how good your engine is, you're not going to win anything. It's just
no.
Level's too good now, mate, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It is. We need controlled tire.
I would 100% agree. And if it was nothing that we did, even if it was somebody else's, personally, for me, I think that would be a really good thing for the hobby, for the hobbyists, the guys that are buying the stuff, that actually make it possible for us to, have businesses and have pro drivers and all that sort of stuff. It would just be an absolute benefit for them, no question. It would be transformational for our class, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it before, but 5 national rounds should have a different manufacturer each one. For example, Beta 1, 6MIC, another, Proline, AKA, and J Concepts, whatever. But
yeah,
surely that's the best way to do it. Have maybe 2 compounds that you can choose from, or maybe even just the one, or maybe have compounds open, but it has to be the tread pattern. I don't know. The problem when you
for me, I like them all the same, so everyone's on the same stuff. You make it work, and like you say, spread it out so it's fair for the manufacturers that care about going racing. Because there are a lot of manufacturers out there that do tires and stuff, but when you really cut down to it, there's not like hundreds that really want to be that competitive, in my opinion. So I think it would be an interesting way of doing it. It would be wonderful to be turning up to a race knowing what you're going to run, like when we go to Paddy Piston, or like when we've done the Proline Challenge before, when that's been at Hearts or Slough. It's so refreshing to just. It's not even a thing that you have to think about. You could put the glove box if you want to, instead of having almost like an estate car full of tires to make sure you've got what you might need. And then from our side of the island, when you're trying to do something to support everybody, it's so hard when you've got all these different potential options that you need to stock and have some sort of a quantity of. We'd need an Arctic to be able to bring everything in big quantity if it's suddenly the tire that works. And it's never quite what you think it's going to be, is it? You have all these good intentions, what you think it's going to be, and then there'll be somebody that goes out on something that's slightly different to what you have, and everybody wants that. It's so difficult to get it right, the tire.
It is. I remember doing the Philippines RCGP last year.
Yeah.
And it was like, right, everyone says the track's mega grippy, and you've got to take the hardest tire you've got because it's 35 degrees all the time. So I took all the hard beaters that you had from Reddit
prototype.
The prototype ones, and we got there, and there was not as much grip as everyone said. The track needed like M4s; it needed soft tires, and then you stood there going, "Well, I've got 2 suitcases full of the hardest tires I had."
Yeah,
absolutely pointless.
The flyaways are particularly hard, aren't they? Because you just can't take everything. Difficult game.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
That turned into a long answer. Thank you, CJ. I knew we could rely on you to come up with a good comment for us to engage us a little bit.
Johnny Roberts said it was 2.4, but 2.4 is way over 3 years old. 2.4 is over 10 years old. So
yeah, 2.4 was good though. That did transform, didn't it? When you think, like all the who's on brown or whatever it might be, which is normally me at Silverstone because we've ate something and I'm on brown.
That's our 26995, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I can't marshal because it would be messy. Let me go. Yeah. So that is a good advancement. I would agree with Johnny.
Yes, and brushless, but all that is again 2006 was when that became popular. So. And lipos. There we go. So, Craig Homer may make a change for 2021. I think that's probably tires. Johnny Roberts is going to stick to Beta. It's always a good choice. Free ride's still one of the best tires ever.
Craig needs to come home. Craig's an ex-Nemoite. We need to have him back. We miss Craig.
Come home, Craig. I think we should just have 6MIC Magmas and Beta free rides and just be done with it. Magma. Or have ultra cubes for the rain. Then we're done. That's basically we can go to any race we want.
Job done. Exactly. Put the sprinklers on and we'll be laughing on the cube ultra soft.
Yes, exactly. Glazer said we should run a controlled tire meeting, but we probably will. We'll do like a Beta GP or something, won't we? So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be good to do a GP and do a controlled tyre and get them like really subsidised as well, so they're cheap for everybody, or include one in the entry, or we'll come up with something that makes it fun to do. I realise that will limit down some people being able to come and stuff, but I think it would be cool for everybody to do that. So good idea, mate. We'll get one of those penned in for next year. Hopefully, we're going to have lots of cool races at the track next year.
Wicked, and we're doing a gamma race too, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to start something.
running in a Gamma only, like the old Tamiya Cups.
Few good. We should do a haters race as well, where you can only come if you hate us.
Yeah, you're not allowed
boycotted
to use us in a Gamma.
Come along. You can throw poo at us all weekend.
That's it. So Quake says, I need to remind myself to pull up some funds for an A319. He's currently driving the A215 SV.
That'd be very cool. Good platform, the 215 SV, very strong and stuff. I think if you do manage to get there, buddy, with a 319, you'll feel the differences instantly. We put a lot of work into the 319, and I think, you know, given enough time and stuff, there's a setup in that car for everybody. It's one of the few cars, in my opinion, that you can set up either way. Someone that's like super aggressive like me that needs a quite neutral car, easy to drive, or someone like Leroy that needs something that's quite aggressive because he's much more controlled with his own inputs and stuff. I think you can find a way with that car for everybody, which is cool.
Awesome. I agree. 100%. That's
it.
The moist finger.
Good Lord.
I'm just trying to throw in innuendos to make people laugh, really. Yeah. So that's basically it for downside and the questions.
I've got some more questions.
Okay.
I've got some more because we put it in one of our Nemo groups, and there were some good suggestions. Obviously, we knew there wasn't too much on the news side or racing side for us to talk about tonight, but we still wanted to do a show and keep it consistent with the whole Monday thing. We've got a good thing going with that one, I think. So we had some cool ones from Mr. Brunston, our man. He wanted to have a prediction for next year's national champion, including the juniors and the over 40s. Go, Leroy. While I burp.
So, national champion, I mean, I'm going to throw myself in the mix because I'll be pushing hard for that one, of course. And then there'll be the rest battling it out with me will be Elliot Boots, obviously, always fast. Neil Craig, obviously, always there and thereabouts. Mr. Skidmore, both of them even are going to be very fast. And, of course, our man, Mr. Lewis Jones, is going to be dialed.
Yep.
There's a lot of youngsters, you know, Callum, Jamie, they've all got the talent. I think they just need, if they have the talent and then the consistency of it all, because they can throw in like sparkling races and in the next race maybe they'll be a bit further down. But
yep,
any of them can throw it and tie it all together and become a national champion. And especially in 8 scale, you know, if you have 2 bad results, or if you have 1 bad result, you're on the back foot. With a failure or something, or you don't make the main, it's a tough one. It's happened to me many times. You know, when we're doing temp scale as well, if they clash around for whatever reason, myself and Neil, if we have a failure, we're out of it. Like last year, you know, for me, I had to miss around, didn't I? And then
you did.
We had a failure, engine failure at Blackpool. And other than that, I finished on the podium at every other race. So it was tough.
Yeah, it would have been right there.
I'd like them to do away with these qualifying points. I think
it made it very hard to work out last year. I think it was a good idea that didn't really work in practice. I mean, we used to have just 1 point back in the day. We used to have 1 point for qualifying first, and that was it. So you did get some recognition for, you know, being the fastest there in qualifying, which I think worked quite well and was easy to work out when you were trying to like look at the points and all those other things. What we have now, it is complicated to work out, isn't it? When you get into that final round and you've got, well, he's got 3 points from there and 2 points from there, but he broke down there, so that cancels out that 3. It's difficult to work out. So I would agree with you. I'd like to just go back to 1 point for qualifying first and normal points all the way.
The way where it is crap, like people like myself, really. If I've just come from a 10 scale race last week and I'm trying to get into 8 scale again, obviously it'd be better next year because we got our track, we can just go and do running. But sometimes I'm like thrown in the deep end. I've done a Euros or something, then I go straight to an 8 scale national. It will take me the whole of Saturday really to get keyed back in. And by that point, I've probably lost 3 or 4 points or whatever it is for qualifying. Even if I then go on to win the final, I could still be outscored by someone that's qualified first and finished second. Which if you win, you shouldn't always walk away with the most points from a meeting.
I would agree with that. Definitely the winner should come anything. The winner should be the one that ends up with the most points on the board when they walk away, like you said.
It's just crazy. I don't think it's actually happened yet. It could have happened at Endor the year when I won the national, because I qualified 4th, so I had no points. I think I lined up pole or second after the semis, which obviously great, and then won the final. If Elliot would have finished second because he TQ'd, he would have gone away from that event with more points than I had.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work. As it worked out, we still tied on points, and he finished 3rd. So it was like madness, and Darren obviously in the middle.
So all of that's wonderful, but did you pick someone that's going to win it?
No, not really. I think it's hard to look.
You've got to do the junior, you've got to do the over 40. So this is going to turn into a 2-part epic, I think.
So who's going to win? Lewis Jones is going to win. Okay. Junior. What junior am I going to pick? I don't even know who's a junior anymore.
No, I'd probably need to research that myself, actually.
Dylan Saunders is going to win juniors because he's driving very well at the moment, and I'm sure he's under 16. Yep. Unless Tommy Hall does nationals, but he might not get in. It'll be and then what was it? Over 40s. You're going to win that. I
don't think I'm going to race the nationals.
Sloppy's going to win it.
We just say we're going to win it anyway.
Sloppy could. I mean, again, Sloppy. I could throw him in the thing of winning the national.
For the vote of confidence, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, Slop could be thrown in the big picture.
Yeah,
because he's a very consistent performer. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Your turn.
Definitely. Okay, so. Oh no, I was going to try and skip over it. So I've got another question lined up. Well, who's going to win the main?
Be quick.
I'm going to choose you for the main one because you didn't choose yourself, which was good, and I believe in your abilities, and I think you've got some fantastic product underneath you, and I think that with what we've got going on with the track and stuff, it's going to put us into a great position. As we move through the year, even if we have like a slightly wobbly start, whatever it might be, I think we'll be able to work back from it. It's obviously going to be massively tight, like you said. Elliot could win every round, Neil could win every round. Going to be tight, but I'm going to pick you because I think to get you in the right headspace, there's no reason why you can't do it. Over 40s, I'm going to pick Kev because I think that he is the fastest over 40, so that's an easy one for me, and he's finally got product that's going to keep going.
I forgot about Kev.
Also good.
I thought he was 39.
Hopefully, as long as this prep's up to scratch and we don't have any randoms and marshals don't cut his car. And Kev, unfortunately, he definitely needs to sort of, I don't know, clap when he sneezes or any of these other superstitious things that you can do, because he definitely doesn't get the rub of the green. But he is very, very quick. I think he's a chunk quicker than the people he's going to be racing. So I'm going to pick Kev. In the juniors, I would agree with you on Dylan. I think he's looking very, very good. My heart would love to say like Ben Simpson, but I think we're probably a year or two too early for that. And as you say, he's going so well, Dylan. So yeah, they're my three.
Good job. I'm just going to throw another one in.
Next question.
Before you ask the next question. Sarah Campbell says, do we have an Agama club car to try as they're looking to change next year?
Yes, we do. Anytime, drop us a line on email or Facebook or any of the other good things, and you'll be welcome to come down. It's actually my car that you'd come and try, and we can set it up on steer wheel, or which it's on the steer wheel because that's what I use. If you use sticks, then we can make a plan as well and get it onto some sticks. And we're also going to have a 319E buggy as well shortly as a demo car. So yeah, absolutely 100%. When you want to come down, once we're out of lockdown, you'll be more than welcome.
Cool. Even my car's been used as a demo car, so you never know. You never know what luck you're going to get the day.
Yeah, exactly. Luck of the draw. Exactly.
Wicked. So yeah, crack on.
I just seeing Graham, our man Graham. Are we doing an over 60s? For you, Greg, we will do one of those. It means you've actually got to race a race at Nemo and not just come and help everybody. You've actually got to have a go yourself. I'll do your marshalling as well, so you don't have to worry about going and doing the marshalling. And we'll get you in that with Glazer. I think you're over 60, Glazer. And that'd be a good. That'd be a gloves off fight. There could be tantrums on the rostrum for that one. That's going to be worth YouTube living.
Yes,
Facebook live. One of the two. Next question. It was also from Kev. Favorite clutch setup, and that's a very interesting question because I think it's something when perhaps you're not quite at the very top end of the hobby is overlooked just how much of a difference your clutch setup can make to the pleasure of driving your car. So take it away, Leroy. What do you run and why?
I tell you, I still use the trusty Freeshoe Gamma stock clutch, 1mm springs, basically. That's my starting setup. I might change it a little bit depending on the track, but not very often. You know, if it gets very slick, I like using the soft springs. Yeah, I like using carbon shoes as well. We don't do one, but there is another manufacturer's carbon shoe that fits. So if it is very slick, running carbon shoes will really tame everything out for you. It's a very good thing to have in your box for sure. So yeah, that's kind of my clutch setup.
So and mine would be the same clutch. I run the Agama clutch as well, but I would run the 1.1 spring normally. Although at the moment I think I'm running ones as well because it's quite slippery. But I quite like to have a quite aggressive engagement. So run almost everywhere at 1.1 spring, and for me at least, it's a fit and forget. Put it on the car. The feel's fantastic. They last really well. You can do multiple meetings before you need to replace the parts and stuff, but it just doesn't go off in a run. We've been doing some testing relatively recently, actually, on some other options that we were looking at doing for clutches, 4 shoes and 3 shoes and stuff like that were from different manufacturers that we were assessing. And it's nice to do that sometimes because it reminds you how good sometimes it doesn't look like this, but it reminds you how good the product that you have is. And you know, when I was running their stuff, it felt really good initially, and 10 minutes into the run it felt weird. 15 minutes it was worse, and then it was just destroyed within half an hour. With our clutches, I mean, you know, Leroy, the amount of effort that goes into my car prep right now is not a lot because there's lots of other stuff going on. Put it out on the track, it's dependable all the time, the feel is the same all the time. We were trying to work out with Phil the amount of running that the clutch that was on the engine had done, and it was just crazy stuff, and the bearings as well, actually, to be fair. So standard 3 shoe for me, slightly harder spring than Lee would run just because I'm a bit more aggressive on the throttle. I don't think you can go wrong, really. If it's slippy, just go softer on your spring, drop down to the 1mm or maybe run a 0.9, even a 1.9 and 2 1mm, tune it away. But it's definitely worth experimenting with. And it's also definitely worth experimenting going up on your clutch well as well. If you're struggling a little bit for traction or you find your car's hard to drive, just go up a tooth on your bell and you'd be gobsmacked how much of a difference that makes to the pleasure of driving the car.
That's it. Just go up a tooth on your bell.
That's it. End.
The end. Yes, wicked. Yeah, good question again. Gage Coleman says, any word on a performance style pack for the Truggy? Here in the States, the A215 is getting more popular. He loves his.
That's cool and fantastic. You love it, but I think it's again, I'm going to be a bit biased on all these things, but the 215T for me is an absolutely amazing truck. It's something that we've had to almost not do too much development of because it's still build it out of the box, go and throw it on the track, put the right tire on, and you can win the races with it. You know, Ryan shows us that regularly, and some of the other guys over there, and somewhere where truck is a much more popular class. Unfortunately, over here in Europe, it's not so popular, but it's a class that's close to my heart. I really enjoy driving the truck. So the 215 hopefully would be the next platform that will get some sort of a revision. It won't be for 2021. 2021 will be the same as what we've got, but we're always looking at how we can improve it and bring it into line in some ways with the other models that we've got. So keep rocking that 215T. It's going to be the current truck, and yeah, you're going to win some races with it. Just set the thing right, you'll be away.
You'll be away. What is the best beta tire for Astro? I know you've done Astro recently, and a few guys ran beta.
Yeah, so if the Astro's dry, I would have the roles are reversed. Why is it? It seems to be me talking all the time. What's going on, Leroy?
I'm just having a break.
Making me work tonight. Yeah, exactly. So for me, running dirt tires on dry Astro transforms the experience. It is so much fun. It takes away all the edginess, all the crappy stuff on the bump rips, and then suddenly you just rolled over, and you don't really know why because you haven't really done anything wrong. Almost all of that goes away when you put a dirt tyre on an Astro track. So I'm a big fan of that. If it's dry, I would have on Beta Freeride. I think, they feel fantastic. You'll enjoy them. You get lots of good forward traction. They're slightly less on the side bite anyway as a tyre, so I think they work really well. If it was wet Astro and a dirt tyre, I would probably put the car in the boot and go to the pub and have a pint of something and just reminisce on the good days of dry weather Astro, because wet weather Astro, you definitely need a spike, otherwise you're going to be going around in circles.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts.
Some of my bearings in my car are still rusty from my wet Astro experience.
Yeah.
Always nice.
Yeah, it's all good because they don't come off muddy, and you think that's wonderful, but the rest of the damage that's going on can be fairly catastrophic. And that actually leads me into another question that I've got lined up here, which was from our own Rob Woodrow, who runs South Coast RC. Fantastic track, fantastic facility, and an Astro track. I thoroughly recommend you going. In my opinion, that's the best Astro track in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Easy.
it's laid properly. You can just go and drive it and have fun. It's an awesome track. He says, why doesn't anyone admit to actually preferring Astro tracks, with a laughing and then winky face? So I think you should answer that. Why does nobody admit to actually preferring Astro tracks?
Well, to be fair, he's got a very, very good one, like you say. And I tell you what, there's no or very limited amount of sand in that track. So in the wet, it would be slippy, but your car wouldn't be absolutely ruined. So yeah, I mean, if we could all go to South Coast all the time, I think a lot of people would really love it, especially love Astro tracks. But dirt is just what they're kind of made for. I think if you, like you said, if you run Astro tires on Astro, if you run dirt tires on Astro, people would enjoy it way more. But they just can't get away from the fact that you can go 5 seconds faster with like a pin on, even though it feels like absolute shite. So again, if we do a controlled Astro race on like a free ride or something, I think people would enjoy it so much more. I've said the same about Temp Scout.
Yeah.
If we ran Temp Scout on dirt tires on Astro tracks, they'd feel awesome.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's just
I'd be down. I'd be down with that, because I think the 10th cars, they're hard work, aren't they? On the pin on Astro, there is no margin forever. They're like little ferrets that are trying to do something that ferrets do. So like you say, I'm sure on a dirt tire they would feel glorious.
They do. I mean,
and last forever as well. That's the thing.
And last forever. I mean, I've said it to a few people that are trying, other tire manufacturers that are trying to make tires to compete with Schumacher stuff. I've said to them, you're going to get close, but it's going to be very hard to beat Schumacher in terms of price and stuff for your general customer. And I said, they're not fun to drive necessarily, but they're fast. So why don't you make something that's fun to drive? We run controlled tire races anyway, so who cares what about the lap time?
Yeah. Do a few of them and start a revolution. That's what
just make it fun to drive. That's all it needs to be.
We've said it before. I think we probably said it before on this as well. It doesn't matter if it's 2 seconds a lap slower or 3 seconds a lap slower, as long as everyone's on the same thing.
Yeah.
And that would be the case. You'd be 2 or 3 seconds a lap slower with a 10th scale on a dirt tire on Astro, but it would be the same for everybody, and they really would last forever, a relative forever. You certainly wouldn't be putting on a new set every run like you guys have to do at a national to compete at the top, which blew my brain when I first got into the 10th stuff with you, and I came along and I saw what was actually going on a tyre basis. I couldn't get my head around it. It's a big investment if you want to be near the top on Astro with 10 scale.
Yeah, it is. It's mad. It's mad. I mean, it gives you a lot of tires to test with after, because they do a run. You can run, like, kill them basically, but it's still crazy, really. So yeah, go. That's the answer to that one.
I've got one more question lined up, which was from our popper truggy driver Mark Jones, and that was, could you talk us through a good red wine? As long as the cork comes out the top, it's a good red wine. That's
what about the screw top?
That's cheating. That's cheating.
A lot easier when you're in like a field.
Sometimes I do cheat. Yeah, exactly. Look at it and think, if I took that one home, I wouldn't have to potentially get it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's quite appealing in its own right. Heard it
Yes.
first.
Yes, I had a
It all
really
tastes
nice
like
one
vinegar.
last night, actually. It was from Co-op. It was a Artusi. It was very nice.
Wow. I like it. Sounds good.
But yeah, that's basically it. We've done an hour, amazingly, again.
Yeah. I'm not sure how we got to that. Did we have anything come on the side? I see one from Manny. Thumbs or fingers? What do you think is best? We need clarity on that, Manny. You need to explain to us what we're talking about there.
We can go down a whole different road here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with fingers. I think fingers are fingers are best. Fingers are best. Depends what the job is, really. Honestly, I mean, sometimes maybe you need a thumb. I don't know.
Yeah, or fist.
You're right.
Did you hear
Good
it?
Lord. Now that would be worth trying to drive an RC car with a fist. Or are we on a different page?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
So yes, so that's basically it. Unless you've got anything else to go on about, I will try and do a bit of a sign off.
Oh, I probably could. There's some comments. I reckon that you're not getting all the comments because I've got quite a few comments coming down on the side. So I'll quickly read them because if they're not coming through to you, will the fuel stick come to the USA Nemo site? Yes, it will definitely. That was from Live N5RC. Mr. Truman, all right, Mr. Truman said, good evening, Mr. Truman. We're going to see you tomorrow morning. We're doing lots of fun things tomorrow. Werner, will you come next year to the 40 plus 8th Euros in France if they are on? Yes, 100%. We were penned in to be there. Leroy had already told me he was going to be my mechanic for that race, so 100%. All those races that roll over, we will be there. That's definitely one that we're going to support. Johnny Roberts said, I will be runner-up in the over 40s. What, just win it, Johnny?
Yeah.
No point being runner-up. Just get on there. Mr. Glasbrook, bold like Johnny's head. Don't know what that was for, but it is bold. Would agree. Getting a lot of head love tonight. And then I pick up the performance pack one. So that's odd. It's like it's missed out a load for you. And Ivan, I kill the 319 with my truggy. That's good. I can imagine it. Quake, personally noticed the VMAX is giving me the swing in the rear I need on slippy damp Astro. It's kind of grown on me. Wasn't sure what I should be running for dry Astro. Yeah, VMAX is another good one, actually, to be fair. That's a tyre, big window that it works in. Definitely would work on dry Astro as well. And you would get a little bit more swing in the rear with a VMAX. So you're doing all the right things, buddy. Dry Astro, just try some things. Try some stuff, see what you find works. Because that's one of the things with the tyres is what works for one doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to be the same for the next person. So just give it a go. Yayan, yeah, boy, sets of tyres a run. We love it. Leroy, do you love it?
No.
Gluing up tyres every run?
No. Horrible game. At least they're easier to glue than HPL ones.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I don't know because I've not done one, but when I watched you, it looked better. Yeah, Masami is very talented with his feet. Apparently, said Manny.
Yeah, I've seen it live.
So perhaps the answer is use feet.
Yeah, he's a good.
We heard that here first as well.
Yeah. I mean,
CJ, our man CJ, which would you change first, bigger pinion or smaller spur to assist with taking wheel spin away? Leroy?
I mean, ultimately, they're the same thing. You can do finer adjustments with a spur gear, but a pinion is a bigger step and it's a cheaper way to do it. And you haven't got to take center diff apart. So if you're just like in a rush, for me anyway, I use the smaller spur that we do as a 47 as standard. For me, I think probably the same on yours as well, isn't it? I just like the feeling that the smaller spur gives because you not only change the gear ratio, you also reduce the amount of rotational mass, basically. So I like doing the spur, and then I would do the pinion after the spur, basically. But for you guys, maybe the pinion's the easiest one to do.
Yeah, pinion or an easy way to go, and financially an easier way to go. And the other thing that it does do is it provokes a bigger change as well. So if you're looking to see if you're going to get some net gain out of it, you'll see a bigger jump if you do it on the pinion or the clutch, in my opinion.
Yes.
But like Leroy said, you get that nice, fine adjustment if you're going to do it on the spur.
Yes. Andreas says, "Hey,
is that your dog snoring again? I can hear it this time."
Yeah, it's the other one started snoring now. I kicked the other one out, kicked Rocket out, and Sky started.
Wow,
Frenchies.
That's impressive.
At least they're not farting tonight. Bringing new parts or car for next year from Werner. I mean, there'll always be new parts as we progress and make things faster or different as such, but there'll be no new car for next year from a Gamma. So
no, definitely not.
Buy away, people. Nothing's changing. Obviously, we're going to be keeping up with development and releasing some great products along the line.
Yep, definitely. But the platform, as a platform, it will definitely be the one that's there. Yeah. Where are we? Do we ship Piranha fuel across the canal?
Canal.
Yes, we do. Depends on where the market is. We've got quite a few places over Europe where the fuel's in, and some more new ones coming soon, hopefully. It's quite difficult to send in small quantities, so we have to be reliant on finding a distributor that wants to get really behind it. But we're always looking for new partners and stuff. So if you know somebody, if in your market, if it's not there, get them to give us a shout and we'll make it happen.
Yes, although I think you probably meant just for personal use.
Yes. No. We'd love to. It's unfortunately DHL. All of the couriers don't really fancy it when you try to send into Europe. We've had quite a lot of work done on this actually to try and get that not the case, particularly with UPS. And I think they could move if we did like very small 1.5 litre bottles. They could move those, but they didn't want to ship full gallons, which is obviously what most people want. But my theory being, in your market, wherever that may be, perhaps sound out someone that's doing a good job of distribution and get them to give us a shout, because we'd love to work with some partners everywhere. Basically, it's fantastic car fuel, really, really consistent, really stable, fantastic run style, and most importantly, it's very, very good at looking after the bearings and the insides and stuff of the engine. So it's probably one of our unsung heroes, actually. So very keen to expand that market with Piranha and get it into ultimately more customers' hands, and can see how good it is.
Yes. Yep. Agree completely. So we're at the bottom of the list.
That's it. We caught up. Somehow we managed to do it. It's good.
Andreas says market is liquid
25 likes as well. Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
We'll give that one a try.
While we
we'll send them knocking at your door.
While we do the mini sign off, if more people could hit that thumbs up button, and give us a thumb up, because John likes a finger up apparently, not a thumb.
I like thumbs now. Thumbs up, everyone.
So yes, thank you very much for watching, everyone.
Yep.
I'm glad you joined us on our Monday night ramble. Sorry there wasn't a massive amount of new things to talk about, but we are still locked down, of course. As soon as we manage to get out into the real world, though, we're going to be flying with all this stuff and everyone's going to love it again. Please subscribe to our page, and every time we'll be going live, you'll get a little notification for it. Hit the bell icon, that will help that happen. Yeah, look out for more videos. Got more videos coming soon, and I'll start this build one, this live build. We'll probably do that straight live from YouTube, and then people can watch it. They can, if they're really bored, they can just watch me live, and if not, they can flip back through in the future. But yeah,
we could get more viewers if you like randomly take off clothes through the build, perhaps.
Yeah,
just like build up the suspense.
I can do that. Although that mate, he's probably going to be like getting a bit too keen, I think.
I was going to say, and Mr. Schofield's already subscribed as well. He's waiting for the 3-1 build. Awesome. We've got up to 33 likes, so that's cool. Thank you, everybody, from me. And yeah, awesome for tuning in to listen to our rubbish. And we'll see you next Monday.
Cool. Have a good night.
Cheers, Leroy.
Cheers, mate.
Be good.
See you later.
See you soon.